Coach's Corner is brought to you by Capital Investment Advisory Services.
Hey there, Rail Yard Dawgs fans, and welcome into another episode of Coach's Corner. I'm Mitch, Stewart, and this morning I'm joined by Rail Yard Dawgs head coach Dan Bremner. Dan, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, of course.
Let's take a look back to this past weekend. You all had the first place Huntsville Havoc come into town. They were on a 9-game winning streak. You guys had bounced back with a nice weekend against Macon. You all were able to not only lock up a President's Cup playoff spot, but get a 2-game sweep over the top team in the league. What was the thing that stood out most to you during this past weekend against Huntsville?
Getting the playoff getting the playoffs clinched was definitely a big step. It was a long time coming for our group, and we knew that. But the big thing was honestly, I'm glad you mentioned that the weekend against Macon and even games prior to that, I think was really a turning point through Pensacola's weekend. I know we didn't get points out of it, but the guys were playing really good hockey. We were out shooting our opponent by 10 to 15 shots every night and getting a lot of great A's. The puck wasn't going for us, but you could see the momentum starting to change. The prior weekend against Macon, the guys definitely got their confidence back, and then getting a few more pieces in heading into a first place game. Intensity was ratcheted up, and the guys came out and they competed. They played two really solid games back to back.
Well, you mentioned kind of that momentum starting to build a little bit from those Pensacola games, that Fayetteville Thursday game, and now you all have won 4 in a row. As you kind of are starting to look toward the playoffs, you don't want to get too quick down the line yet because you have a big series this weekend, but how do you feel about the team's confidence and their momentum as you kind of hit the home stretch here in the last couple of weeks of the regular season?
I feel good about it. I think the energy in the room is really great right now. Obviously we were in a stretch there that was tough, and sometimes those times when you're not doing well is when you learn the most and kind of what makes you stronger. And when you say not looking too far ahead, we look to the next game, and as of right now, we're looking at every game like it's a playoff series. We played Huntsville last weekend as the number 1 team in the league at the time. Now Knoxville rolls in here as the number 1 team in the league right now. So it's exciting. We get to play great teams right down the stretch leading into playoffs, and we don't put past even the next weekend against Fayetteville, who's another great team right now, and it means we get to look at playoff competition the last 6 games of the year here, and we're excited about it.
Well, you mentioned some of those new additions, whether it's some players coming up from the college ranks or getting some guys back from the ECHL. And one player I think that has stood out here in his first 4 games with the Rail Yard Dawgs is fellow Virginia native Travis Broman, and he's also a fellow Oswego State alum with you back in his college days. Has joined the top power play unit, and then his first goal last Friday night against Huntsville. I mean, what a one to remember, a blue line blast for Broman. What has been impressive to you in his first few games as a professional player out of college?
I think he did everything the right way stepping into pro. He didn't say a lot, he absorbed a lot, he just kind of went to work, did his thing. I knew the scouting report on him, and we'd been looking for a guy like him for a long time in our lineup, kind of that big, true power forward type body who, he goes to the net, he stays in front, he doesn't do too much with the puck, but he's actually got a great skill set too, and he uses it at the right time. I've seen him getting better and better every game along the way so far, and we're expecting him to continue to grow, and we'll put him in places and opportunities to succeed for us.
You mentioned you have first place Knoxville coming into town this weekend. They've won 7 in a row coming in, but you all have played a lot of tight games with the Ice Bears throughout the year. And the last time they came to Berglund Center, you all were able to take it to them 5-1 back on Military Night in February. What are you kind of expecting from the Ice Bears in your 2-game set with them this weekend?
They're another team that we always play well. We love to play against them. They play fast, intense, hard hockey, very highly skilled. So it's fun to measure up to those teams. I know we'll be amped up to play, and when you say these tight games, like even the weekend there that we did lose both, like both those games were really good games. The first one lost in kind of heartbreaking fashion with a 5-on-3 in the last minute of the game. And then the next one got away from us, but really there's moments or the majority of that game that we were carrying play, out shooting, out possessing the puck, and it was one of those games that during that long stretch for us, things just wouldn't go our way. So, now with a little bit of new energy, a little bit of confidence going into this weekend, I'm really excited to see us to measure up to another top team.
Well, we're excited to see you all back out on the ice. Hopefully you all can be Giant Slayers again for 2 games this weekend. Thanks for joining me this morning, Dan.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mitch.
That's going to do it for this episode of Coach's Corner. Make sure you come out for the last regular season home series of the year against Knoxville this weekend. Friday night is the one-night rebrand, the Big Lick Bootleggers, taking on your Knoxville Ice Bears, and then Fan Appreciation Night on Saturday here at the Doghouse. Thank you all so much for listening, and have a great rest of your day.
Coach's Corner is brought to you by Capital Investment Advisory Services,